Very long time ago, my brother, my cousin, and I were sitting in our living room watching TV. That's what we would usually do on Saturdays when there was no school. But that Saturday was very different because Grandma had traveled from very far away to come visit us. We had heard stories about her before, but this was the very first time we had actually met her. She also had some very strange stories of her own. Back then, I was still very young. I did not understand most of the things that she talked about, but everything she said sounded very interesting. She told us about Earth. She said Earth had enormous cities, bullet trains that moved unbelievably fast, flying cars, and technology that we have never seen before. She told us that one day we might travel to Earth to study and see these inventions for ourselves. But she also said that one day Mars would grow even bigger than the world she had come from. She kept talking about Mars so much that eventually I asked her, "Grandma, what is Mars?" Grandma told us that this was our planet. It was the place that we lived in. She said it was a world that our people had brought back to life. My older cousin Axel then said, "So you mean outside?" Then apparently yes, Mars was outside. Mars was our home. Grandma also warned us about the colorful birds we sometimes saw flying outside in the distance. She said that they were not normal birds with red feathers. Their wings were made out of actual fire. She told us not to touch them and not to get too close because when they flew near trees, grass, or other plants, they could set everything on fire. And somehow that was not even the strangest thing she told us. Grandma started telling us about a hidden facility on Earth where strange creatures were kept away from the public. She said that one day she was allowed to enter the facility. She walked through its long hallways until she noticed an open door. Inside, she saw something moving. She walked closer and closer until she realized that she was looking at an alien. We immediately began to ask questions. "What did it look like?" I asked. Axel asked, "Did it say anything?" Then my younger brother asked, "Could it understand you?" But Grandma did not answer anymore. She had fallen asleep. "Bruh, she's asleep," Axel and I said. My younger brother just said, "Okay, I'm just gonna watch TV now." Grandma seemed to fall asleep as soon as we got invested into her stories. I got up. I wanted to wake Grandma up, but as soon as I got up, I noticed the book. Back then, I could not read many complicated words, but I definitely knew how to read and write my own name. And that book had my name on it. So instead of waking Grandma up, I picked the journal and started to read the parts that I could understand. The first sentence said, Dybz was a government scientist? I didn't really understand much, as I said, because I was a lot younger back then. But as I kept reading, I noticed that it said, Dybz loves studying plants. I like plants. Maybe it is talking about me. The journal said that Dybz studied plants day and night at a huge government laboratory. It also said, Dybz wore a white laboratory coat. So I imagined myself wearing the white coat. Even though it was too long, in my imagination, I was a real life scientist. Then the journal said that Dybz studied a plant named the ohia plant, which is a real plant known for surviving on volcanic land. Dybz studied its strongest survival traits and used them so that he could develop new life plants for his important mission. These new plants were designed to survive in conditions where ordinary plants could not. Then I continued to read. Dybz was chosen for the Mars mission. This is the reason why everybody was preparing. As I continued reading, the journal said, the life plants were ready, the tools were prepared, the crew had been selected, and we were all getting ready to take off. As the journal said, Dybz boarded the spaceship with the crew. In my imagination, I saw myself saying bye to everyone. I waved to my family as I carried the life plans towards an enormous spaceship. The engines had started. The entire station began to shake. Dybz and the crew were finally on their way to Mars. I did not understand the entire story yet. I only knew that the journal had my name written all over it. I fell asleep reading the journal, but the spaceship kept traveling.